Hello and welcome to my community on Afrocentric TV channel 27.9. My name is Kolawole Akinmoyiwa, and I'm that host that brings you about what is happening here in the Houston community among the Africans in diaspora. And that's what we do on Afrocentric Television, channel 27.9. I'm here today to talk about, events coming up. This is post summer, and we need to understand that there are activities that needs to happen because during summer that you probably enroll your child in an academy, or in a tutorial, or you travel with them and stuff. But when they go back to school, do they continue with it or not? So today there's a gentleman that is, of course, him, is a part of the studio, and I'm so proud of what he had done and achieved in the time past. He used to be the host of our sports segment on Afrocentric TV community, on my community on Afrocentric television, and today he's back to the studio with me to talk about what he has cooking, and I'm so proud to invite and honor to mention that Mr. Bayonle is here with us today. Thank you
very
for
much,
coming, Mr. Rashid.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Thank you so much.
I'm very excited being back home again. This is home.
It will always be home.
Yeah,
and the beautiful thing is we stay connected regardless of where you've been.
Absolutely.
Life happens and it takes us on this journey to far and near.
Yes.
Right? But through it all we support one another, and I see you do that to and for Afrocentric TV. And I can't, but you don't even have to see anything.
Yes,
I do my own part regardless.
Absolutely.
It's just but let's talk about your academy. Bravo, you're even wearing the shirt.
Absolutely.
Nice, I love this. That's brand right there.
We have to promote the brand.
Yes, so Midas Football Academy. Let's talk about Midas Football Academy. You've always been a sports enthusiast anyway. So,
yes.
But now you have your own academy.
Yes, sir.
And can you educate us on what you do with your academy, and and what the plans is for the academy?
Yes. Thank you very much for having me again. And like I said earlier, it's a very, very big pleasure coming back home and having the pleasure of being on set with you, sharing the dream and plans of the academy. Well, Midas Football Academy has been something that I've had for a couple of years. Actually, before I relocated to the United States.
Oh, wow.
The academy started in Nigeria way back in 2008. But just like you said, when you migrate, as many of us did, and you come to a new system, you have to look inward and first and foremost serve first, and then try and see how you can also be of benefit to the community. So for me, it was about that. At the beginning, of course, I work with a couple of TV organizations locally, including this one right here, and I still work with them. But while I was doing that, it's always been my mind that how can I do something that will be more impactful? Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Having a broadcasting background, having the academy back in Nigeria, and then coming here, working in the criminal justice system was a big reminder of that purpose. Because coming from a background of, okay, you covered sports, you've been to a couple of Africa Cup of Nations, covering soccer, as we call it in America, football, as we call it, and then coming here and not being able to find that job to continue that professional path. But criminal justice was what was available to me. So I joined the state of Texas doing that job. And for me, I've always said, as one of my mentors said, that it is not what you are getting from the job, it is what the job is doing for you. What are you doing? So I look at, okay, how can I add more to these kids? So I started seeing the pattern of African kids being incarcerated.
Oh, wow.
Kids as young as 18, 19, 16 in the prison of Nigerian origin. And I'm not BSing you, as we're going to say it. It's for real.
Wow.
And I had this encounter for more than one time. First time was when I was working in one of our maximum units far back in 2019, and then 2020 when we're in the season of COVID. I still remember the name of that kid till tomorrow. It's a Yoruba tribe, and when I saw him, as a father that I am, I have to be like, the first question was, "What are you doing here?" So I feel
Mm.
I have to be more than a correctional officer. I have to remember what my purpose was. And luckily for me, I used to go to the annual United Soccer Coaches Convention. I'm a member of United Soccer Coaches Convention. It's the largest soccer organization in the United States. So when I went to the convention in 2001, I had that moment of epiphany. Like, I have to remind myself of my purpose. You have done this back home. You've been doing this. Why can't you do the same thing here? And use it as a way to help some of these kids that you are. How can you do it? And that was how I went ahead and registered the organization. So basically, Midas Football Academy is being used as a tool to not just teach soccer, but as a tool to mentor, to teach kids on how to have a skill in that game, and also to show them the path, how to navigate that troubled path of being a child to being a teenager to being a young adult. So that's actually the purpose. Our mission is a mission-driven organization as a non-profit to inspire these young kids, to help them to get to their purpose-driven life, and that's
I
what
had
we
a
do.
story um, about you, one of the kids that you're mentoring,
Yes, sir.
at the academy. Um, I think got in trouble in school,
Yes.
and you were the first line of contact as opposed to the parents.
Yes.
And when you got there, even the teachers were excited that you were there. You were in your uniform,
I
as a
went
matter
there
of
when
fact.
you
So you, when they were like, oh, he listens to you.
Yes.
And there was a way
You
I heard you communicated with the
the
child.
approach.
Can you give us insight to that?
Thank you very much for that question. Also, based on my earlier explanation, one of the basic things that I think was missing among most of these young men that I encounter behind the bars, behind the walls, um, due to conversation I have with them, is that mentorship, that
Parenting.
fatherly role. I don't want to call it parenting, that father, especially because these are boys. When I say boys, men are wired different from women. This is a very, sometimes it's very sensitive for you to say those words, but it is the truth, right? The way you approach these kids is very, very different. That if I come and I start yelling, he will be confrontational. But if I come with a lower tone, like when I saw that boy, I'm not going to mention, when I called his name, I said, "What are you doing here?" So he had the way I call. I didn't call his name the way they call their name here. I call his name like you reach home, and he look at you. So I think most of the time is that father figure missing in their life. So that was my number one. That was the number one thing I discovered, that while while they were in their formative years, that was lacking. And nothing to be taken away from their moms or from mothers. They do awesome job. I love my mother, and I know many of us do.
Of course.
And we appreciate our moms. But if they lack that fatherly support, that fatherly mentorship, it takes a big toll on a higher percentage of them than the system mentioned. And like I've said, instead of the system helping them most of the time, they ended up punishing them. So what I decide to do is, before these kids come behind the walls, let's catch them. So I signed up intentionally. I signed up for basically two ISD, independent school district in this area. One, I signed up for Alvin ISD. I'm a mentor for Alvin ISD.
Oh, nice.
And I'm also for the ISD. They have more than 80,000 kids in that district alone.
Wow.
And right now, so today, I'm also in talk with the Fort Bend County, which is also a very big one, which is where the academy is located, to also see how we can serve. For the story of the young man you talk about, it was in Alvin ISD, and it was in 8th grade, young boy, 14 years old, and what they said was wrong with him is he gets angry, and when he gets angry, he's ready to destroy, he's ready to whoop someone, he's ready to do something, and I have to hey, whenever you are angry, rather than you try to destroy something, go down, do a couple of push-ups, do 20. Let me see if we can do 20. Let's start from there. When you come up after 20 push-ups, tell me if you are still angry. And every time it's no. You won't be angry no more. That energy, that
That you
anger, you
released it.
exert it towards
Yeah.
something else,
Mm.
and it has helped. And also, doing sports has a lot of value.
Oh
Has
yeah.
has
Oh
a lot.
yeah.
When you burn that
Oh yeah.
energy, that
Yeah.
youthful energy, and then when you get home, you go to sleep, it does a lot for you.
Mm.
So the story of that you say you had is just one of many stories that I have, that if we start sharing that today,
Of
we,
course.
we might not live here.
So now I know when we started we were talking about boys
Yes, sir.
because of the way they need to be handled and whatnot. Are there now, because I learned your academy is expanding
Yes,
and you are
sir.
now accommodating girls.
We're community girls too.
So now that your academy is growing and accommodating girls, what age group are you can register with Midas?
We started with ages 4. That's always the best time to start with them.
Catch them young.
As soon as they can say my
Before they
name
start
is
throwing
Bayonle,
tantrum.
and I can, as soon as they can do that, get them into sports. My son plays soccer as well. He just turned 6. When he first started, he didn't like it, but now he reminds you every day, when are we going to
I'm
play soccer?
training.
From Monday, when are we going to play soccer? So we start with ages 4 to 13. That was in our first year, which was from April of 2023. But when we took a break in the summer of 2024, we had a lot of feedback. Parents were saying, "How about the girls? How about the girls?" And if you look at it again, as the boys are getting in trouble with guns, with incarceration,
Mm.
the girls are also getting in trouble with early pregnancy, with
Uh,
anger. That is also there. But looking at it from a very close
hmm.
view, you just have to empower them, give them something that they can do. Also, let them have a place they can call their own. 50% of our kids are Nigerian African descent, and others are African American descent. We also have Caucasian, we have Hispanic. It's not restrictive to any particular
So
race.
no race
So
restriction.
we are starting. We plan to do our first free open tryout.
Yeah, I
It's
was gonna ask
free.
that tryout.
It's free. It's open.
It is free.
It's free. It's free. It's open at Harlem Road Park on Harlem Park on Saturday, 24th of August. We are hosting kids ages 4 to 15 because we feel not just the younger ones that need help, also the early teenagers from the age of 13.
Mm.
Catch them, let them do something. And like I said, we do more than soccer. Soccer is just the tool to get to them. If you don't like it yet, we promise you when you come, you're going to fall in love with the game, and
I
you're going to
like
fall in
that.
love with the community as well, of your people that are there.
So I learned also that the tryout is going to be at the Harlem Road Park.
Yes, sir.
And the address, guys, it's 701 Harlem Road, Richmond, Texas 77406. It's going to be on Saturday, the 24th of August 2024. It starts at 8 a.m. and ends at 11 a.m.
Yes.
So it's a morning thing. 8 to 11
Before the heat
a.m.
comes, we want to do it.
Yes,
get out
on
of
Saturday, August the 24th. It's a tryout. By the way, it is free.
It's free.
Come out, bring your children, get them kitted. You know, if they need tennis shoes, and then the coach is going to let them know if they're going to need boots.
And
right?
the game is so affordable. The game is so affordable. That's also one of the things that Midas Football Academy covers. I don't know if you know this data, but soccer in America is ridiculously expensive.
It's expensive, I know.
And if you look at the output of what we have produced over the last couple of years, it's nothing to write home about. Our best player is Christian Pulisic, and the club he plays for now is AC Milan. If you look at the history of Christian did not develop his soccer in America. He grew up in Germany. His father took him to Germany when he was 10 years old. So how do we get our own kids to actually play the game? We are not missing anything. We have the coaches, we have the parks, we have the atmosphere. So an average soccer academy charges around between 1,800 to 3,600 a year for a kid to play soccer for 8 months in the United States. This is not even it's not hidden information. It's there. Just Google it. It's out there. Our academy is a non-profit. We operate basically on grants and donation.
And by the way, if you want to donate,
yes,
I have the donation. I have the information here, and you can write that off. You know, in your taxes.
Absolutely,
you can write it off in taxes. The Zelle number to if you want to donate is 346-399-7989. Again, it's 346 399 And if you want to do Cash App, they accept Cash App as well. It's $ Midas FA. That is MIDASFA. $MIDASFA. That's for Cash App. And the tryout again is going to be on Harlem Road Park, and it's for boys and girls ages 4 to 15. Saturday, August 24th, 2024 at 8 a.m. Ends at 11. The address is 701 Harlem Road, Richmond, Texas 77406. And the website is www.midasfa.org. That's MIDASFA.org. Thank you for what you do and everything. But there's one more thing that I know you are coming up with.
Yes.
And that's the 5K run.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about that briefly.
Well, the reason for the 5K is in two different areas. One of it is to introduce our organization as a health-driven organization to the community, to the African community, to the Houston community, to the Richmond community, to let them know the importance of being healthy. We are planning our first 5K, our first event for the month of September. The month of September is time to be the month for childhood obesity. The data is also out there. It's not lying. 1 in 5 children and young adults in America is obese. Yes, 1 in 5.
Obesity is when your BMI is over 30.
Yes, sir. Right. You're supposed to be under 24.
Under 24, but
that's what it's supposed. That's what over 30, when it's over 30, you have to start having a look at it. It doesn't mean that that's a death sentence or anything, but it's just that you have to pay attention. And health. Sport is a very key. So that event is for us to introduce ourselves to the community. The second reason why we're having it is, just as I told you, that we operate basically on grant and donations. We are hoping that we can raise some money to organize structured sports events. Like, okay, these kids, every once in a month, we can have 100 boys and girls at a particular park, giving them a structured athletic activity. And we come here, let's do this every week. And we don't want the kids to be worried about how much do I pay to do that. We want them to just say, hey, I'm coming.
I want available.
To play. Just come and play and participate. So those are the two reasons why we're organizing our 5K. And that will be for September 21st. Because the entire month of September is that month of childhood obesity awareness. So, but our own is on the 21st. And it's going to be in our former training ground at Four Corners. Almost everybody knows where Four Corners is.
The Four Corners Community Park.
Four Corners Community Park.
15700
Old Richmond Road. Yeah, Old Richmond.
Sugarland, Texas 77478.
You can't miss it. You can't miss it. And it's for each registration you're going to get a T-shirt, and I think about $5 come to us as an organization for each person. So imagine if we get like maybe 100 or 200 persons, a couple of dollars comes in, and we're able to use that to create those programs that we planned for. When young people come to an event, they want to be entertained, they want to be fed, and they want to have fun. And for us to be able to do that, we definitely need.
And I love the theme. It says it's 5K fun walk.
Yes.
And run against obesity.
Absolutely. I was going to say that. So when you come, don't think you have to run. You don't have to run. We're having fun. You can choose to walk.
Yeah, just walk.
And you can choose to run. Yeah, everybody cannot be like.
Everybody is a winner.
Everybody cannot be using both. No, we just want you to come out to hear from us, to hear from our team, to see what we are trying to do. Our dream is huge. The future plan is for us to be the facility where African kids, where American kids can call a home, where we can say, okay, from the age of 13, we're going to put the best of the best soccer players in the academy, and when they're coming out at the age of 18, after 5 years in the academy, that's a long-term goal.
You know what's funny? These are the kind of things Shaquille O'Neal likes to do.
Absolutely.
I should partner with.
I mean, you guys are giving us the opportunity to be here. Who knows where this material is going to be?
Yeah,
that's why I'm sharing the dream.
A lot of sports, Hakeem Olajuwon, all those past athletes.
That's why we share.
They're probably able to chip in and help.
That's why we share. That's why we share.
And they get. Hopefully, one of these days, these kids get to go to the games. where they'll see their mentors,
We
the
do, we
people,
do.
their
We
idols,
were still at the Houston
you know.
Dynamo game a couple of weeks ago,
Aha,
and people see them in their yellow and green jersey, and they were like, "Oh, where
nice,
are these guys from?" And the boys were excited. Now we know that the girls joining us is even going to be bigger. So
awesome.
hopefully, we plan when those kids come to the academy when they are graduating at the age of 18. Our plan is we believe that some of them will be signing their first professional contract as a soccer player.
By God's
That's
grace,
one. And then
yes.
if you can't play soccer, you are not wasted. You are not useless. We also believe that you should either play soccer or be ready to go to college. We're going to create a pathway for you to get a scholarship and go to school, all expenses paid. That's the strategy. And then the third strategy is at 18, you should be able to have a vocation that you can serve your community, your states,
Just to give back.
with, so that you cannot just go out and not have anything to do. That is where the tenet, the idea of crime comes in. If you don't have anything to offer,
And I do mind.
if you absolutely, if you don't have anything to offer, the best thing you would think about is, so let me go. You need to have an idea of what some of these boys do that bring them to prison. Want to sell drugs, want to be like that big uncle on the street,
So
on the block.
they need real mentors.
They do. And we also have programs that we use to target them. And that's why we're organizing an event like this. We have Rising Stars. Every month, we bring in a team from around Houston to come and play our boys. It's an atmosphere of fun. The boys play. Sometimes we lose, sometimes we win.
Hey,
but everybody
everybody's a winner.
And then we have crossing bridges. We encourage specifically because we also know that the data for single mothers is incredible out there. A lot of them. So we celebrate them. We made them understand that, look, we know what you're going through, and your kid can come out here, play, and then at the end of the day, whatever, if we have something, we give them something back to say thank you. And then we do this in underserved community. We don't do it where we know that the rich folks are. We go to areas where people really benefit from it. So we definitely have a lot of ideas coming, and I'm sure that we'll be back on the show.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll be more than happy to have you come back on the show and I'll give a quick recap of what we had achieved here today. And that gladdens my heart that this gentleman here is taking it all upon himself to not just to get our children healthier, but also to mentor them into becoming great leaders and sportsmen, and also a pathway for them to go to college.
Yes.
You can't beat that. And all of this coming to you nearly free, because I mean you still have to buy gas in your car to bring them. We still need you the experience, right? So yes. So we have again, Mr. Bayonle Arashi, thank you, Coach.
Thank you, sir, for having me. Yeah.
Forgive me, Coach Bayonle Arashi. He's the founder of Midas Academy, Midas Football Academy. So there's a tryout coming out on Saturday, the 24th of August, 2024. Yes. It's going to be at Harlem Road Park, right? Boys and girls are welcome, ages 4 to 15, right? It starts at 8 a.m., ends at 11. And the address is 701 Harlem Road, Richmond, Texas, 77406. And if you want more information, you can visit www.midasfa.org.
Yep.
And they receive donations, right? So you can write them off in taxes. They receive donation. You can send it to them via Zelle. The Zelle number is 346-399-7989. Again, it's 346-399-7989. Then they receive Cash App as well. The $ Midas FA. It's going to be $ Midas FA. And then also in September, they have the 5K fun walk and run against obesity. It's going to be at the Four Corners Community Park, 15700 Old Richmond Road, Sugarland, Texas, 77478. Again, the website for more information is www.midasfa.org. Thank you
for having me,
much.
Bro. Thank you for having me. I'm very happy to be here and to be hosted and to see everything still going very well. And
thank you.
Hopefully we'll be back, and who knows, you guys can feature us better, and we can partner to come out there in the future.
I appreciate that.
We look forward to that. Thank you very much for having us.
You're welcome. All right, guys, just stay tuned. We have one more for you on this segment, and it's going to be beautiful. It's a gala. It's about Nigerian professionals. Anyway, when I bring my guest, you would know. Stay tuned. Do not touch it. I'll be right back. Thank you. Hello and welcome back to my community on Afrocentric TV channel 27.9. I remain your host, Kolawole Akinmuyiwa. This is that station that revolves around the Africans in diaspora. And by virtue of where we are, Houston, and by the virtue of the internet, to the world. We bring you information, occurrences, we celebrate leadership and businesses, entrepreneurs, organizations, personalities, and all of that. But we're not limited to Houston. I just wanted to know that, right? So, this right here, introduced partially to you guys in the first segment. It's going to be from Boston, Massachusetts, right? But this gentleman I met happens to be a family friend and an uncle to a friend and a friend to a friend, and it just this life anywhere you are make connections.
Right.
He is the founder of Nigerian Professional Group, originated from Boston,
Right.
Massachusetts.
Headquartered in
Headquarters,
Boston.
yes. And then, well, let me just do a formal introduction of Mr. Kayode Anifowoshe. Welcome to Afrocentric Television.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Of course. So tell us about Nigerian Professional Group,
Um,
NPG for
MPG.
short.
So I'll talk a little bit about myself
Please,
and
yes,
get
yes,
into
yes, yes.
what
Thank you.
led into the Nigerian Professional Group. So as you said, Kayode Anifoshe, Oluwati Kayomide Anifoshe. That's my full name. But I go with K. I'm an accountant. I'm a chartered accountant, and I currently work for a global company in Boston as I lead the financial planning analysis for one of our organization operations in the West. So for me, career development has always been a very
Mm,
big part of
mm,
my journey. I've been a beneficiary of mentorship. I've had people open doors for me. I've had people advocate for me, and every time when I connect with my mentors and advocates or sponsors, they always say, "Okay, pay forward." And
mm,
so for me, when about 7 years ago, when we started having conversation, it actually started from a church that I was attending. I saw a lot of inflows of Nigerian students. As you know, we traveled. There's this jumper
of course,
syndrome,
yeah.
and I saw struggles. I saw how many of them were struggling to really navigate through the system,
System. Mm,
and I saw that gap. There is a need to find a platform. There is not just a social group.
the one that will
It's
give them a soft landing
right. So
professionally.
it's not a social group. And so we started making some inquiries about what kind of organizations exist at the time. Most of the Nigerian organizations that were in existence at the time were social groups, whether Yoruba group, Igbo group,
Mm,
but there was no specific professional group that brings people together, that fosters collaborations, more around education, help people to navigate through corporate America. So that was the need where everything came from, and we said, you know what, we need to. And the other interesting thing at the time was, if you go, Nigerians were everywhere, right?
oh yeah.
If I attend conferences a lot, and so when I go to different conferences, you see Nigerian names on people's tag.
Right,
I'm
right.
like,
It's
we
a lot of
identify,
us, yeah.
right? We identify with different groups. Why can't we
Come
come
together.
together and build our own? And there's something about community. There's something about culture. You infuse that in your professional journey. It makes it even more exciting. So we started having conversation with folks in 2017, and by 2019, we made it official. So this year is our fifth year.
Fantastic. So that's how you birthed Nigerian
Nigerian Professional
Professional
Group.
Group,
Yes, sir.
NPG. So you said this is your fifth year,
Right.
but you have an event coming up, right? It's a gala.
Right.
It's an annual
Annual
thing.
gala.
Yes, I know you started 5 years ago, but this I heard is your fourth
Fourth gala.
gala,
Right.
right? So tell us a little bit more about the gala.
So I'll share the what's the gala, the goal, the objective. On our website, one of the things that we identify opportunities within our community,
Mm,
and how do we solve for each of those opportunities, gaps. You and I know, and really great for the work you're doing,
thank you.
because what you're doing is the same thing that we're also doing, amplifying our culture,
Mm,
amplifying the accomplishments of
our people.
our people.
Mm,
There's the negative stereotype of the media about Africa. When people talk about
so we're
Africa,
trying to change that narratives, right?
it's all about poverty. When you talk about the folks from the east, is about terrorism and all that. So we this gala was established as a way for us to control the narrative
Mm,
about Africa, about Africans, about Nigerians. The media is not talking about these great things that you're doing. The media is not talking about Tokwe Awutono. The media is not talking about all of the amazing folks that we have in the health industry. We have a large
oh yeah,
population
tell me
of
about it.
Nigerian
Oh yeah.
professionals
Oh
in
yeah.
IT. Medias are not talking about that, but
Yeah.
media focuses on the one,
Negative.
probably even like
Yeah,
0.5%
the negative.
of the
Yeah.
scammers, and they use that to brand us. And you can't wait for the media to help you, but we're taking that, we're using this platform
Yeah.
to control the narrative. And so we started in 2021, just right coming out of the pandemic. We started, it was 75 guests. We had about 5 6 honorees for that year. We had visionaries, and we actually used that first year to celebrate some of our founding advisors, folks who were there
Mm,
for
from
MPG from the
inception.
beginning. And then 2022, we had about 125 guests. People came from all over the country, from Nebraska, from Texas. We have members. We have about 1,500 members across the U.S.
That's huge.
And then 2023, which was last year, was our third gala, and it was humbling. People came from South Africa, from Jamaica, from Canada. We had, of course, from the US, about more than 15 states. It was a carnival.
Wow.
The hotel that we used, the Marriott hotel, was shut down. It was, when we Nigerians do our things, it's always great. So,
Yes, it
but
is.
the big message, and a lot of people were inspired to look at, to hear other people's story, and we are doing this as we're building a legacy for younger generations, to see that there is an opportunity for them in this country. When
Mm,
they hear stories about this is an amazing work you're doing here.
thank you.
And someone out there probably is thinking like, oh, it's not possible to do in America and all that. Just seeing what you're doing,
You'll be inspired to.
so we're using that platform to not celebrate the honorees, but also inspire our generation and the
Ones. Mm,
upcoming generation.
fantastic. So this does it require membership?
Well, we launched our premium membership this year.
Okay.
What we've done, because it's our fifth year, so we in the last 5 6 years, even before we became official,
Official. Mhm.
we were building a brand and just letting people know this is here for real. But this year we've officially launched premium membership. Our members are students, whether
I was
you're
gonna ask you
international
that.
students,
Yeah.
whether you're Nigerian born in the US, or you're Nigerian
That migrated to the US.
migrated, and you're students from different level, whether you're masters, PhD. I'm currently back to school myself, so I would consider myself
A student,
another
yeah.
student. I wear different hats within the organization, so We have students, and we also have a mentorship program that help students to transition from college into corporate America. We have professionals. Professionals at different levels. Meet early professionals, just starters.
I'm sure there's going to be mentorship with that.
For within as well. So we have professionals, mid-level, and we have a lot of executives among within our community. We have a lot of executives at different organizations who have been very active within MPG. And of course, entrepreneur for us is like every Nigerian has a side hustle.
Hey.
So you're professional, you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
so
entrepreneurship could be a side
right,
gig,
right.
It's always
right.
something,
So, but that's and it, like mentioned earlier, it's a Boston headquartered base.
Yeah, because
it's a national.
I was gonna ask you
it's
that,
a national.
Given that people came from South Africa, from Jamaica, from Canada, and all of that, so I was gonna ask, hey, because you guys are headquartered in Boston, Massachusetts, does it mean that people from out here in Texas or in New York or anywhere else,
I would say that MPG has embraced diversity in terms of location even before COVID happened. And what it means is that on our executive board, we are spread across the US. So we have some of our board members even who lives in Dallas. We have folks in Chicago. We have folks in Atlanta. So even our advisory board, they're all spread all over. So membership, it's across board. It's not, and even part of our vision, maybe from 2025 gala, is to start taking the gala to different states.
Rotating,
right? So maybe it's going to be Texas.
And it gives people, this is America. America can have its own way of tying you down to your locality.
Right.
If you don't wing yourself off, you take a vacation or do something else, you'll probably just be a slave to that city or that state,
Right.
So doing that also will help people. I've never been to Montana before.
Right.
And now since MPG is going to be in Montana, let me plan towards it. I'll look forward to what I can see there. And I'm sure on the website there's going to be events that you have a schedule, and what to do's and all of that. Glad to hear that. So tell us, this year I learned you're expecting over 300 guests.
Yes, sir. Last year was about 200, a little bit over 200. But this year we're looking at about 350 guests.
We start making provisions for more, because I think from here on people are going to try to be a part of it.
There are a lot of folks from Texas, from Houston, from Dallas who have always attended. We had folks from Houston last year, and also from Dallas, from Nebraska. So over 300 guests. We're expecting the Minister for Trade and Industry, Boston Mayor, the Chief Economic and Inclusion for the city of Boston. A lot of everyone is a dignitary. So, but a lot of high profile folks we're expecting this year. One is our 50th anniversary, so there's a lot going on for us this year. We're kicking off our mentorship program again for September, so there's a lot and a lot of engagement. So
fantastic. You said there's going to be some honorees, right? In what category? Just give us a few of the categories. At length. Well, let me break the ice. There's going to be industry award. There's going to be trailblazer award. There's going to be visionary award. Entrepreneur award. Innovative leadership award, and then rising star, and the likes.
And we also have public leader in public service award.
So but these are not limited to, these are just Nigerians or Africans doing something significant in the United States.
So since 2022, we've expanded the awards category beyond Nigerian. In 2022, we had one of our honorees from Congo, who is a Congolese, based here, is an executive at Liberty Mutual. And last year we had also someone from Liberia, Liberian American, who happened to be Miss Liberia in the past and all of that. But
Nice.
she's doing amazing work. She had the Young Business Leader Award for last year. So this year we have a gentleman, Emmanuel, is the founder of ABS African Bridge Network. Is doing amazing work. He's a Ghanaian. So we're expanding that,
Nice.
just not focusing on.
And I love this. Let me tell you why particularly I love this. It's like you rightly mentioned earlier. We need to start letting people know that we have the potentials are within us, the leaders are within us. Um, a few weeks ago, friends and I were talking, over drinks, and we were like, if there's a reason why the Western world is harvesting brains from Africa
Right.
down here. If they know that we're trying to find our foot, not feet now,
Right.
foot, making it one,
Right.
and bless Africa with
Right.
it, the whole world is going to be dependent on Africa.
Right.
They already are,
Right.
but it's just going to be with the brain power and everything that's going to be dependent. Because listening to, watching something yesterday on Instagram, there was this old folk, African American, they were cracking jokes, but there's realness in it. We're talking about a black man invented this, but a white man invented the bill. Like a black man invented the telephone, but a white man invented the telephone bill. A white man invented electricity,
But
a black man
the
the bill. So it was funny, but you have to look back and things are happening. So
Right.
if Africans, if only we can come together to do stuff like this, and thank you for doing this. Thank you
Appreciate
because
that.
this
Thank
is
you.
this is professionally. We have groups here that are young African professionals, young African professional associations.
We would like to
YAPA.
collaborate with them.
I would love to introduce
like
you
to
guys.
collaborate
I
with
would
them.
gladly introduce you guys. And then there's Mrs. Kwejo doing it's a gala too, and then it's NAMC, Nigerian American Multicultural Council.
We would like to connect with them.
We'll be glad to connect you guys. If all of these arms are there to support one another, the sky is just a stepping stone, man.
So it's interesting you brought this up. So my research topic, I did mention I'm currently back to school for a PhD in
Correct.
strategic leadership, and my research topic is around, breaking the barriers of Africans operating in silos.
They always
As you've mentioned about 2-3 different organizations, and there's ton of that.
Oh, a whole lot of them.
But the thing is, everyone, whether it's competition or whatever it is, the way some of us are raised, you have to cover your notes when you're in elementary school. You don't want this other person to see.
And there's GABA network too.
Right.
So, yeah,
but for me, part of the things that I've been able to establish as a leader within MPG is opening the doors for collaboration. Reaching out to folks and just say, hey, we're all serving the same community from different capacity. We don't have to operate in silos. If you have an event, we pull you in. Let's do it together. We're serving the same community. So whichever way we can amplify and enrich our community together, that's all I care about.
That's key. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
So this gala, when is it going to be? When is this the one for 2024?
2024.
You said it's going to be when? September?
It's December.
December. It's upon us.
Right.
In a few months. We're already in August.
So this year, and that's thank you. I can't thank you enough for giving us this platform.
Of course.
We started our planning very early this year, just because of so many things. One is the 5th year. We want to make sure that every year is better than the previous year. So December 7th is the first weekend. The first weekend out, like 2 weekend after the Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, correct.
And also, the election is in November 9th. So that
early November,
it's gonna be a month. We hope everything will have a little bit settled down in terms of like climate. And so December 7th is the gala. The agenda for the day is very typical to, every gala what we've had in the past. So it starts from 6 p.m. 6 p.m. is the networking, the red carpets, the what did you wear? You know, everyone is coming on their A
And
games.
this on a
Is
Saturday, right?
Yeah, it's a Saturday, December 7th, Saturday. So you know what you have on and all of that, and just
The red carpet kind of thing.
right, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. In the past, we've had it just for an hour, but this year we're expanding, we're extending that to 2 hours. So that within the reception, there's also going to be a DJ, just letting people get the vibe and the energy before we get into the dinner. So the dinner proper start from 8 p.m. It's a seated dinner, plated dinner. It's not buffet. So we're all kings and queens, and
Right.
so we all get seated and being served. There's going to be keynote speaker, which we're going to be unveiling. That last year, Tokwe Awutona was a keynote speaker, also
Was the honorees,
one of
right?
the honorees. So,
And by the way, people that does not know who Tokwe Awotona is,
oh my goodness,
yes,
um,
the founder of Calendly.
Calendly, one of role model,
Yes.
has an inspiring journey.
1% of the
One
1% in
one
America.
percent of the 1% of the
Yes.
1% of the one
Yes.
percent. But you know, the story of Tope and a lot of other folks, including John Olajide, who is based in Dallas
Mm.
here. The stories are very inspiring and always let us know that if they can do it,
We can do it.
we can
So
do it.
can we.
And there is a spirit about being a Nigerian. There is a
Tell
last
me
year
about
was Thrive. Celebrating resilience, and just the ability to keep going. This year is Elevate, the audacity to dream big, and that team means a lot, even to me personally, because when we started off the MPG, it was like a dream. Like, oh, okay, we're gonna continue to do this, and then here we are, the fifth year, and they always say if you can go past that, the
the
fifth
50th
year.
year, yeah.
After last year, actually at the gala, a lot of people were like, okay, I think MPG is here finally
To stay.
to stay. When people saw the crowd and the people that
Awesome.
attended, so the dinner, there's going to be performances, entertainment, guest artists, and different cultural performances as well. And you've mentioned all those categories of honorees.
Honorees. Mhm.
They have stories, and those honorees are going to be sharing
You're
their
telling their
stories,
stories.
and those stories are what really make up for that night. So
Fantastic.
and then after that we have the after party.
That's when you take off the suits.
Yeah, you can't separate Afrobeat and jollof rice is ignited,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
so
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So guys, the objective is to raise positive awareness
yeah.
amongst the Africans, especially you Nigerians, but again, collaboratively Africans in diaspora, and to celebrate the achievements of um, our African descent. If you're an African descendant, you probably have done something to impact life. You don't know. People are watching, so we celebrate you. And this also, from my understanding, this helps foster unity and social change
Right.
amongst the Africans in diaspora, and then support educational opportunities.
We give scholarship.
Oh,
So last year we gave about 5 scholarships. Is also on our website. This year we're giving about 10 scholarship to freshmen and college degrees, grad folks. I think we have some of them who are probably masters. So we're giving
that's
about 10.
encouraging.
Right.
That's encouraging. And again, like they said, the target audiences are the students, the professional, and the entrepreneurs, the community partners, sponsors, and donors.
Right.
Of course, again,
And Harleys.
yes,
So
yes,
it's not
media
just
and influencers.
right.
Again, thank you so much. The website is nigerianprogroup.org. And like you said, the theme for this year is elevate.
Elevate.
So
The
you can
audacity
visit
to dream
the
big.
audacity to dream big. I love that.
Yeah.
So it's www.nigerian with an N at the end.
Right.
Nigerian Pro Group,
Group.com.
PRO Group.org. You can slash that with elevate.
Yeah.
This is their 5th year, and this is the 4th gala. Over 300 guests are expected, and then the Boston mayor is going to be there. The Minister of Trade and Industry is going to be there, and then they have about 15 honorees, in different categories. Past honorees are Dr. Akintoye in 2022. That's the chairman of DuPont Capital. Great Ife. Yes, I have to chip that in.
Yeah,
I always tell people,
he's an
hopefully they
awesome
don't
guy.
beat us one day. Because anyway, we are.
Great
We're Great
Ife.
Ife. And then last year we have the honorary for last year and keynote speaker. It happens to be Mr. Tokbe Awotona.
Yeah.
Mr. Awotona is the founder and the creator of Calendly. That scheduling app that we all use.
Wow.
And that brought him to the billionaire status.
Right.
You guys need to understand that B, not M, billionaire status. And so it's gonna be this year. Is gonna be on Saturday, December 7th. 2024. It starts at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., which is the red carpet. And it's still gonna be music popping. And then the dinner special is gonna be, because we are kings and queens,
Right.
it's gonna be played at dinner and starts at 8 p.m. Then there's gonna be a after party.
Right.
Yeah, just so please feel free to be a member. For more inquiries, visit the website. It's called
The ticket is open and live now.
NigerianProGroup.com. So the ticket is open and live. So try to be a member. Let's support one another.
Yeah.
I from hearing that now, I plan to be there already.
Appreciate
right.
it.
So
We'll be
we'll be in talks
you.
and then to make it happen. I've been to Boston. I didn't even at the time I didn't know you there, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's a beautiful thing. I took my daughter out there for 2 UMass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah, so it was beautiful.
Yeah.
And then
We
I love
good,
it.
we
So
good people.
I know, right? So we look forward to seeing you guys there. Thank you so much for all you
Thank
do.
you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Guys, stay tuned. I will be right back.
All right.
Thank you. Hello and welcome back to my Community on Afrocentric TV channel 27.9. Again, my name is Kolawole Akinmuyiwa. I'm sure you have enjoyed the episodes today. The segments are full with information. It's always good to. I'm privy. I think doing this gives me some level of access to some information. I'm glad to be doing that. I'm bringing this to you guys. The first is we'll talk to Mr. Coach Bayonle Arashi of Midas Football Academy, having boys and girls, to come out for tryouts on Saturday, August the 24th, 2024. It's going to be from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. The website is going to be www.midasfa.org. They accept donations in Cash App and Zelle. It's going to be on website. I'm sure you'll see that. Please bring your children out from ages 4 to 15. Their mentorship program available and scholarship program. And the next, I'm sure you just enjoyed our friend, Mr. Kaude Anifowoshe of the Nigerian Professional Group. They have this gala coming up on December, and it's a Saturday also, December 7th,
Right.
2024. So please do us good, be a member, subscribe to it. It's www.nigerianprogroup.com. It starts at 6 p.m. .org. It starts at 6 p.m. Which is the red carpet, and then dinner starts proper at 8 p.m. It is going to be an amazing one. It's a gala, so come looking your best. Be African. Let's just do this together and change the narrative. Until next time, please do not forget to follow our YouTube channel. Subscribe rather to our YouTube channel. It's going to be Afrocentric Television, Afrocentric with a K at the end, television on YouTube. And of course, you can like our page and follow our Instagram page. And on Facebook, it is Afrocentric TV. Our website is www.afrocentrictv.com. And we have an award coming up, which is the EVA Award, that stands for, EVA Award is always it's an annual award. I believe this is going to be our 3rd year that we are doing this is it's beautiful. It's focused on your achievements, the values you bring, and everything and the likes. And we celebrate professionals, individuals, organizations, even students that are just to let you know that we are doing great things in America, and you can tell we're changing that narrative.
Right.
And that is what we're about. Thank you for staying with us. Thank you for joining us on Afrocentric TV, channel 27.9. Until next time, be well and stay out of trouble. Take care.